Hello, welcome back to the channel. So if you guys were here for part 1 of this video where I did the top 10 face brushes, today you are in for a treat because I'm doing part 2, which is my favorite or my top 10 eye brushes. Ooh, this one is going to be good, you guys. Again, like I said in the last video, brushes are super important to how we apply our makeup. And sometimes a brush can be a really big difference in how much your makeup can elevate. And I've personally seen that. You know, I used to be the Morphe queen. I was like, give me everything that's cheap. But when I started investing in brushes and really doing my research and trying to really find amazing quality brushes, it really changed the game. And I was like, oh my God, like what have I been doing? You know, so I definitely encourage you guys to do your research, to find brushes that you like, and I hope this helps you on this journey because brushes are super important. So let's go. Okay, again, like I said in the last video, these are in no particular order, okay? So starting with number 10, I have the Morphe E24 brush. Now you may be looking at this brush going, what the hell do I use this for? Because I say the same thing. I personally love this brush for inner corner highlight. I don't know what it is, but other brushes that I use to get in my inner corners, like I can't get product in there. But this is the perfect brush. Now, I'm sure you can find 101 ways to use this brush in other ways, but I personally just like to pick up some pigment and I put it right in there and right in there. And sometimes I go a little bit up here. And for some reason, it's just the perfect brush because I bought this and I was kind of like, oh, sorry, my nose is like incredibly itchy. Because when I first bought this, I was like, why did I buy this? Because I've gotten some brushes, you guys, where I'm just like, this is a complete dud. Like, I'm never going to use this brush. I just don't like it. And I was like, what do I even use this for? And then one day I just picked it up and I was like, I'm going to use it for inner corner highlight. I wasn't even thinking. And then I was like, damn. This is the best inner corner highlight brush that ever lived. It's very dense. It's very dense, as you guys can see. It doesn't have a lot of movement, but it's perfect for just like placing the precise amount of makeup in the inner corner and on the brow bone. I love it. It's fabulous. Next up is another Morphe brush. This is from the Jaclyn Hill collection. It's the JH36. I love this brush. A lot of blending brushes for the eyes come to this tapered point. And okay, that's great. I need those for other things. But sometimes I just want a really small brush with a pretty flat edge so that I can just blend the edges. That's all I want. And she gave me that in this brush. And I believe like I don't know what the legal name of this is, but I think it's something like the blending brush or something. I'm not sure. Excuse me, can you not drive your motorcycle like an asshat? I'm filming. But I love this because as you guys can see, it's just a really nice flat top and it's just perfect for just blending edges. So you can just sit here and blend the edge of your eyeshadow till your fingers bleed and it's going to look so amazing with this brush. I love it. It's perfect. Okay, one of my favorite brush lines is from Royal & Lane Nickel. It is their Omnia collection. This is their Omnia Pro line. This is the BOM 415, excuse me. It is just this little dense packer brush, but it is so freaking soft. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is. This brush is just so soft. I absolutely love it. It's perfect for just packing shadow on the lid. Besides my MAC 242, which no longer exists, it does, but it's synthetic now. It's not natural hair like it was, so I didn't want to mention it, even though I love that one. But this is a really nice one. Oh, it feels so good. It's just amazing. It's so soft. And this is really nice too. I mean, it's a natural hair brush, I believe, but you can use it for, you know, concealer. You can use it to do highlight on the nose, things like that, you know. But I love it for packing shadow on the lid. It's perfect. It's just dense enough, but just fluffy enough where I could also use it underneath here to kind of smoke out my lower lash line. Great brush. And it does come in a variety of sizes. I do have a smaller one where it's like a little bit tinier, but I prefer the big one. But I do use the tiny one, but if I like had to choose, it would be the big one. Okay, coming in at number 7, this is my, or number 6, I don't even know anymore. This is the Scott Barnes 61 brush. This is a really interesting brush. In the last video, I mentioned how Scott Barnes has these really kind of interesting brush shapes that you don't really see a lot, but they work. And that's what I love about his stuff. It's kind of, I don't know how well you guys can see, it's kind of dense, but it's nice and flat, but it has like a little bit of movement to it. And they actually have a bigger size of this that you can use on the face. Now, I personally really like to use this for the lower lash line. The way that it's shaped, it just like hugs the lower lash line so well. Like you can easily, like you're not having to go like, it's just easily like glides along, and because it's rounded, it can just move with your hand and your eye. It's really cool. But you could also use it for brow bone highlight, face highlight, nose contour. You could use it to pack shadow on the lid if you needed to. So it's a pretty universal brush, and I love it. It's fantastic. It's really soft, really well made. I love this. More Royal and Lane Nickel. This is the Royal and Lane Nickel Omnia BOM 15. They call this the pencil brush. Now this does taper to a point a little bit, but it is a little bit more domed and rounded, if you guys can see. But you do get some really nice movement with this. I really like this brush because it's not too small, but it's not too big. And so it really is good for like getting in the crease, doing the outer corner, but if you needed to, you could use it on the lower lash line. You could also use it in the crease to build a big area of shadow as well. I just really like this, and I think out of all of the blending brushes I have from them, this is probably one of my favorite, is the pencil, just because it's so versatile, and that's kind of what I look for, something that I can really just use for a ton of different things. So I love this brush. Next up is the Morphe M432. This is just a flat definer brush. I really like it though because it's not too long width-wise. So I could use this for brows, liner. I mostly use it to stamp product on the lower lash line that I want to be really concentrated. But you could also use this to pack shadow on the lid. You could use it as a lip brush. You could use it to clean up around the lips. I just really like this brush, and it's kind of like a brush that's like, you know, it's not anything like mind-blowing, but I just really like the Morphe one, and it's a brush that I feel like I have to have though. Like I have to have this in my collection. I would never not want this. I would always need this because it's so versatile. So I love this little definer brush. Fabulous. Okay, if you do like something a little bit more fluffier, I really love the Royal and Lane Nickel Omnia BOM 45 crease brush. I like this one because it is a little bit more layered in the hairs, so I find that it gives more of a nice blend instead of more concentrated product like the other one. And I just love the movement it has. I like that it's not too tapered. You can get, it's a little bit more blown out, and it's a little bit fluffier, as you guys can see. Just a perfect brush. It's not as small as the other one, so you might have a little bit harder of a time doing detailed work with this, but I love it for blowing out the crease. I can build up a bunch of colors. You could also use it for a very small, precise highlight, nose contour. It's a good brush. I really love this. Oh, you guys already know my heart for Wayne Goss. This is his number 18 brush. And listen, I have 2 of these, okay? And I have been looking for the sister brush to this in the blue squirrel tail. Because I think it's the number 6 brush, but it's always sold out on Beautylish. I hate that. But I love this brush. And this one is still so freaking soft. Oh my god, I love it. I also really like Wayne Goss's brushes because they're not too long. Like, look at this one compared to like a Morphe one, compared to a Scott Barnes, compared to the Royal and Lane Nickel, okay? These are really long brushes. There's something about how light and short his brushes are. Look how that just perfectly fits in my hand, you guys. And they're so lightweight, they make it really easy to work. Now, what I like about this one is when you turn it this way, it's wide. When you turn it this way, it's skein-tee. So this is a perfect brush for turning vertically and getting a really large area blended, but you can also turn it flat or horizontally and get a more precise blend, lower down, more precision work. And it's also nice and little too, it's not too big. And you can also use it on the lower lash line. You can use it for precise highlighter, nose contour, nose highlight. I love this brush. You could even use it to blend concealer out, put eye primer on. This is such a fabulous brush, and it's so soft. It has some really nice movement to it, but it's still dense enough to apply product. Wayne Goss's stuff is just perfection, literal perfection. Next up, this is a Real Techniques brush. This is the smudge brush from Real Techniques. This actually came in a set, so I don't know if you can buy this individually or if you can even get it anymore. Ooh, probably should have checked that. But anyway, if you can get your hands on this or you have it, I love this brush. It is a very tiny little brush, but it's perfect for doing the lower lash line. So amazing. It's also really good for blending out cream eyeshadow or kohl liner or things of that nature that like when you put your eyeliner on and then you want to smudge it out. This is perfect for that because it's nice and little and precise, so it's really gonna get in there and like really just see. It's just such a good brush. But you can also use it for concealer, brow bone highlight, cleaning up around the lips. I've used it to even apply lip product because even though it's synthetic, it's nice and fluffy, so I can kind of blend a little bit as well. It's just such a good little brush. Whew. Okay, last but not least, we have the Morphe M441. If you have ever watched my channel for any length of time, you know that the Morphe M441, this brush, has seen the days. Okay, I have multiples of this brush. There's just something about it. Other Morphe brushes I've kind of subbed out for other things. I found better alternatives, but this is just one brush that just like, damn, every time I use it, I'm just like, oh, it's so good. I actually used this one today to put eye primer on, but I use this for eyeshadows. I've used it for a highlight. I've used it to put powder under my eyes and stuff like that in very precise places. I just love this brush so much. I don't know if it's like, because it's tapered, but it's not too tapered to a point. It's not too flat, it's not too domed. It's just, oh, it's so good. And because it's a natural haired brush, it's going to be a lot better for powder products. So it's just going to be able to blend those eyeshadows like oh, it's so good. I love this brush so much. If I were to recommend one eye brush from Morphe, it would be this one. It's perfect and everyone can use it. I love it so much. All right, guys, thank you for joining me today. I hope that you guys found this helpful. Hope it gives you guys some better ideas about brushes that you can use on your eyes, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.